Okay, I gotta get back to Ashley, who has written in and disclosed to us that she was just recently diagnosed on Monday, that she's 32 and she was diagnosed. But it appears, Ashley, that you then notified your family and friends and that you haven't heard from any of them. And she says, I feel very alone in processing, but I'm okay. Then there's another place where Ashley says that she was diagnosed at 17 with a mood disorder, but did not explain other systems like work struggles, and just don't know where to start with the processing of things because I'm alone in this, and that her family, due to some of the things that were going on and some of her mental health problems, that basically she uses the word disowned. So I want to talk a little bit about that and give you a great website that I think will be able to help you. But also she wrote in and said, rather than teaching autistic kids to socialize with non-autistic children, I believe that non-autistic children should be taught how to approach and play with autistic children. And believe me that we are on that page as well. And believe that that absolutely should happen. We've had Circle of Friends on the show, and there are a lot more organizations now that take school-aged kids and teach them skills to be able to deal with any kind of communication that comes at them, which I think is crucial and important. But you know that I always say here on the show, the serenity prayer, which is accept the things I cannot change and the courage to change the things I can and the wisdom to know the difference. That I don't always have control over the curriculum of the autistic children. Wish I did, and by the way, try to make forays into that, but you do what you can, where you can, when you can. And I'd love for anything, Ed, that you want to say to this young woman, but I want you to know that there are so many people that are just like you.
Yes.
And that they will welcome you into their arms. You have a community of people who are waiting to welcome you. I would love to encourage you to go to wrongplanet.net and start to find some of your peer group who can help you, that are self-advocates, who can tell you, oh, this is what happened when I got diagnosed, this is what I did to help myself, this is what I realized, this is how I processed it. You'll find a great group of people. Also, the Autism Society of America has a large number of adults who are diagnosed either as children or as adults, that especially if you can go to an Autism Society conference, whether it's a local one or a national one. I have never been to a conference that has more self-advocates than their conference. And it's super cool. Oh my gosh. I love to just be able to be there in a room full of adults who are on the autism spectrum and hear their point of view on a wide variety of subjects, but just to be a part of the conversation with them and to listen to what they say to each other, what is important to them. Boy, for me, it's so edifying and gratifying, right? So I encourage you to check that out. You do not have to be alone in this.
Definitely not. This happens actually regularly now. We have adults who come in and, they might say, yeah, when I was a kid, my mom thought I was quirky or, something like that. And I always say, look at the diagnosis and does it make sense to you? And so many people say, yeah, it does make sense. It explains all, the social interaction that I've had, things that have gone wrong. And it's really hard, I'd say, when I've talked to these adults, when they talk to their families, because, families a lot of times just think an adult that first comes and says, hey, this is what my diagnosis is, families will be like, yeah, you're just looking for an explanation,
right.
And it's not helpful. But it is one of these things where I think it's learning how to communicate what your difficulties are in interaction, because one of the things that we teach a lot of our teens and adults here is you can't expect the other people to know how you feel or what you're thinking or what's hard for you. So you're going to learn how to be the self-advocate and say, if somebody, maybe there was some kind of interaction where there was an expectation of you and you didn't fulfill the expectation. but it's important that you learn how to communicate, hey, I didn't know about this part. Because it's not that you're intentionally missing it. A lot of times it's because you just didn't know some of the assumptions that were there that involved an activity where you were going to get together and do something. Yeah. And it's learning how to tell your family, hey, I didn't know that this was happened, or I didn't know I was expected to this. Yeah. I was really doing what we had talked about.
Right.
You know, but I didn't know about this part. Because once you start learning how to communicate what you didn't know, but it was expected of you, that'll start teaching other people. Oh, so when I'm talking to her, I need to be more explicit or more concrete or whatever it may be. And at least it lets them know that it wasn't your intention to not do or not follow through on something. And a lot of times people just get mad and just end the interaction. I would say, no, communicate and learn to communicate what you did not know.
Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.